everyone. Welcome to the Only God episode. Okay, redo. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Only God podcast. I am here with Jake.
What up?
We didn't say your last name. True.
It's Samantha.
What is it?
Turnup truck.
Is it Turnup?
No, it's Troxel.
Troxel. Jake Troxel. That's a cool last name.
I know, it's got an X in it.
Troxel. Jake Troxel. Today, guys, is going to be, we usually just let it flow, but today we're actually going to go into being single and being a Christian. And like Jake says, how much it sucks. No, I think we have different views on it. But yeah, so we're going to talk about that because I think a lot of people struggle with that. And yeah, I want to hear about Jake's non-existent love life, he says.
Yeah, she's out there somewhere. I just haven't found her yet. We haven't found each other. Maybe that's a good way to put it.
So what's your dating experience been like in your life? I know everyone knows my traumatic psychopaths I like, but what's yours?
Oh, I only had 2 girlfriends in my life.
With that luscious hair, you only had 2 girlfriends? That's crazy.
I haven't always had luscious hair. I've had it for the last 4 years, but I've always been a looker.
He's that guy that you're like, creep.
Yeah, I know. In high school, I dated someone, and we dated like on and off throughout high school. She would we'd date during the school year and then break up with me during the summer, and then that would happen again and again and again.
Why the summer? Was the summer like
I don't know.
What, hot girl summer or what?
I think so. I don't know.
Did she break up with you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will admit I was clingy. I was very clingy cuz I was like, you're my source of love. I need you. If you disappear, what am I going to do?
That's why it's dumb. I'm just going to be honest. I hate kids that date in high school. I think that's the dumbest thing. I never did it, but to me anyways, cuz you're not developed enough. You might think differently, but I'm like, it's stupid because you're setting yourself up for more heartbreak and more heartbreak. Focus on yourself. And then when you get to that place, you're ready, do it. Otherwise, you're just going to break that person's heart. The chances of you getting together are so slim. Like, there always are those high school
100%.
sweethearts. My sister is actually a high school sweetheart.
Oh, look at that.
But they went through a lot of hell. And she even said in my first, that she goes, our relationship until we found God was so immature. It was literally just survival mode.
Yeah, 100%.
So, okay, so you went to high school.
Hold on.
Broken.
And I will continue that. But let's say you had a daughter and she's in high school and she's like, Mom, I met this boy.
She can have a cute little crush, like see him at school, but there's going to be no hanging out after school. My cousin did that, and I'm like, little do you know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, it's too much. And she made him an idol. Like, you're still building, you're still learning to love yourself, and you're making a man an idol. And then the rest of your life is going to be that cycle.
But most people.
Okay, talk to me.
Most people don't know what you just explained about the valuing yourself and loving yourself.
Yeah, that's why you're still trying to figure out yourself. So why invest your time into something that's not going to work? It's like, why invest yourself in a job that you're never going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's to me, it's a waste of time. It's not even just it's a waste of time, but then you get already into that mindset of putting that person before yourself because you're already doing it in a lot of ways. Most people aren't going to be like, oh, we just date at school. Most people are going to be like, oh, every day they wake up, first thing you do, what's Johnny doing?
Yeah, for sure.
What's Billy doing?
It takes a very mature person to not have a relationship in high school, and I don't think there's many of them.
That was me.
Look at you.
I was too nervous. You know what's funny? So I did have a boyfriend, and I was so nervous because I was called prude. Like, my sister used to make fun of me, call me prude in high school, make fun of me all the time. So anyways, you guys want to hear a funny story? So I stole my uncle's alcohol one time. Us and all the cousins are hanging out. I have a big Portuguese family. So we're all hanging out. It's like this kid who's not even cute, but he's like tall, popular, but goofy. Anyways, and I had never kissed somebody. So because they were making fun of me all the time, I drank this alcohol. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to kiss him, you know? So I remember being drunk on the floor listening to, do you remember that song? You are beautiful no matter what they say. I remember being drunk listening to that. Okay, so we end up kissing, and apparently I was making out with this cheek. I didn't know what I was doing. So I was like, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what I was doing. Long story short, he told everybody in the school the next day that I made out with his cheek. He laughed at me and pointed at me, and I'll never forget that. And that was my first kiss experience. So I never wanted to kiss again. I was like,
Oh, that sucks. Sorry.
And then my next experience was a rape. So that was nice. No.
Great start to
So
lifehood.
the
with
love
guys.
was working out for me. But I will say, like, I do believe that anybody that gets hit hard early, like, Satan is afraid of and that's his job, is to destroy, and like that's what he does. So that's why like you said, talking about high schoolers, that is such a precious age, because they're trying. That is the most, what you learn in high school, you absorb everything,
Yeah.
and you take it on yourself, and like that's why his heart is so big for high schoolers. And me, I do like high schoolers.
You're
like,
I can't even say that. I know.
I'm like, do I like high schoolers? I know. But it is such an important time.
Yeah, 100%. People forget what it's like to be a high schooler. That it sucks for the most
Yeah, because
part.
you're so confused.
Yeah, you're just like,
And you're so self-conscious.
oh my word.
So self-conscious.
It's insane.
I would wear these heels, and I'd wear heels in high school. I'd change in the locker room. My parents were super strict, so I'd have to hide. I had a little mini skirt. I mean, I'm so innocent, but I was like, I thought I was the hottest. And I was like a proud virgin. I was like, yeah, I'm like the hot virgin. And it was funny, man. I was just I look back, I'm like, oh, cringe. Why is high school so cringe? But kids these days, they're not so cringe like we were. Well, now that they have the internet, they can really fake it.
They can.
They still are cringe, but they don't know it. They pretend it.
Internet's not good.
They're so much older.
People.
Like, that's what I think breaks my heart. And that's why I think I can't be around a lot of kids that are high schoolers now, because I see so many of them have lost their childhood, and maybe it's just too heartbreaking for me. But because I'm still very childlike, thank God, after everything I've been through, I love being like a kid, and that's how we should be. But it's like I see these kids now, and it pains me to be around them. Like, it's like everything is so, sexual, and like it's just like, where's the innocence? Like, where's the It's gone. Not completely, but it's definitely.
Yeah, I know. It sucks. I could go for days on high schoolers, because those are.
And that's where a lot of times kids have generational curses, and they don't know what to do about it. So they're getting into like, a lot of sexual or masturbation, and they feel guilt and like all these different things. And it's like they don't know that they have generational curses. And a lot of parents are which with the internet now, I'm like, how are y'all Christians and don't know about generational curses and demons and like praying over your family? And like, I think that stuff is so important. And like, I didn't grow up like that, but we still went to church, but it was not like, it was a part of our like routine in life. Like, we would maybe like pray before dinner, but it was not like, are you struggling with something? Let's pray about that. Let's what's going on? It was never that compassionate, love. My mom was compassionate, but she was like a foreigner who just grew up kind of didn't have like, she didn't know we were, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. She just knew how to love us, but she didn't know what we were going through, how to help us through that stuff as a mother.
Yeah.
But she was always so sweet. And then my dad was like, suck it up. You should have been a boy. I was like, I'm sorry, Dad, I'm not a boy. So then I just took on all the masculine traits.
You're like, I'll try.
Now I'm a boxer.
Got guns that look like Pee-wee guns.
You're so jealous. You're lucky I have a tank top on. Hey, the legs are out though. Can't see them on the podcast, but
just like
got some muscles.
Like,
we got some muscles.
I
got some calves.
Let's go.
All the Christians. Put your leg down, heathen.
So back to my dating life, I went on would date during the school year, break up, and then I had some friends who told me don't go back, and I just would always go back. I think she would do stuff. I'm pretty sure she'd do stuff with other guys during the summer.
A little young skink.
No, she wasn't that bad.
She
Um,
wasn't that bad.
I think she like had a guy she liked that she would work with. She worked as a lifeguard, and that pissed me off because I'm just like,
Oh,
oh
she had that whistle too. She,
yeah, she was pretty. Golly,
oh my
she
gosh, he
was.
still has a crush on her. I wonder what she. Do you ever look like want to look back at these people, what they look like now? Have you done that? Have you gone
With
through that rabbit hole of like, where did people in high school go? Like, what do they do with their lives now?
I've looked her up a few times, see what's up.
See
But
if
not
she
like,
still wants
yeah,
that
yeah,
love.
just like I don't do social media like almost at all.
Well, now you are. Every person that hangs out with me ends up being.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a social media for queen or king. Um, so then eventually, after I graduated high school, I moved, and then it just like ended, and then that was okay. 2010s when I graduated high school, and then so I think then my next girlfriend I had was in 2017. I like in
Damn,
yeah.
what did you do in all that time?
Well, I
You said screw girls.
I was pursuing film. I wasn't like against finding somebody, but I wanted to pursue film, and so I put a lot of intention into that and time into that, and I wasn't. If I
Do you think you were honestly probably still heartbroken though that you didn't want to?
yeah, I loved film, but there's also, and this is something like since we're talking about single stuff, that I think a lot of reason that people are single and they're habitually single, and I raise my hand as one of those people that's habitually single, and why this is like we're afraid to be fully seen, and when we can put on a mask and look good enough for short interactions with people, or even like a few months for people, and then they really get to see you, and you're like, I don't know if you're gonna like what you see, and then that keeps us from wanting to get in a relationship, and that's what it was for me.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I feel like that's better than. I feel like most people put that mask on and then trauma bond the person, mess with the person, lie to the person, and then that person's already stuck to that person. Like that's to me worse. Like there's men who just go from women to women, or just
Yeah.
like I'm gonna make this idea of myself to this person, and then later on show who I really am. But you get what I'm saying? Like you sound
Yeah.
like you're like I invest a little, but I don't get like I don't get in these long relationships. Tell this woman you're the one I want to marry. You're this. You're that, and then boom, you're like
Yeah. Deuces.
yeah.
I'm
So
bound.
that's more respectable, honestly, that you're able to like live in your truth of like, and the fact that you can even say that. But I think you got to say screw it. Like someone's gonna love you, they're gonna love you for all you. I loved the crappiest people, which it wasn't really love. It was more of like trauma bonded infatuation. Because I'm like, was that love? No, it wasn't a healthy love. So, but I'm like, they were like not even. One was not even cute. It was like a little habibi. He was like,
A little what?
it was a habibi.
What's that?
He was he was from Jordan, and he was not like on my level at all. Not that I looks aren't it for me. Like I love there's more than just looks, obviously, because I was with him. But like you saw me and him together, you'd be like, oh my gosh, you must be paying her or something. So I don't think it's like all about and it's like us women. I feel like we can just fall in love with like if you are truly broken, you can fall in love with the
Yeah.
worst and fall in, and it's so crazy how that happens.
Yeah.
Like and then looking back, I'm like, like why would I find somebody who's so insecure, who has to, have cars or like have women or like need constant validation from women because they're so insecure in themselves. Like a real man is like, my presence is enough. And that's hot.
Yeah.
Like my presence is enough. And a man who knows the only way for a man to truly know himself is to know God. So like men start knowing God. It gets so old. You see these 30-year-olds like going out to the club, like going from relationship to like, oh gosh, Nashville's so small. I don't even want to say. I could definitely get on to say names. There's this guy like successful with this girl, like young girl from Miami, and I'm like, the only reason who don't hardly speak English. Listen, the only reason you're with somebody young is because us grown women know the kind of person you are. We see the ego, we see all the BS, and we ain't gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
That's why these men they love the young ones, and it's because they're still
Yeah,
lost and finding stuff out,
I
and it's
know.
disgusting. Like, y'all men are cringe, and they flex the girl, and I'm like, you look cringe, and she looks like she's just lost. Like, she's using you because of what you have, because you're a little more established in life. So she looks like a user, and you look like a goofy. Just to anybody out there who's flexing a young girl, you're a goofy. Find the Lord.
Well, they're and like coming from
Sorry, I
the
went off.
yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. Coming from what it's like being a guy and just what you learn is your value comes from who you can get. I think I might have said this maybe on a podcast that didn't actually
No, it wasn't. So
make
put it here.
it. But your worth comes from who you're able to get in terms of like, oh, she's pretty, and then you think, oh, all these guys want to be like me.
Yeah.
And then so it's yes, they're beautiful, and maybe they even have a bunch of substance as well.
Maybe.
But
I said maybe.
just give them the benefit of the
Hey,
doubt.
I have pretty, and I have a little bit of substance.
It's possible. But there's a most guys need to feel loved and valued and have worth. I mean, all human beings need that. But guys don't get that cuz guys don't get encouraged. It's like, "Hey, I appreciate you just like you." Cuz you want to be the best soccer player or the best football player or the best tennis player because everybody's going to want to beat you. And then that's when you're worth something in this world.
I also think like um what we sometimes forget is like we also have anointing, and we also have like, I feel like when you are with somebody, you get what they have. Like, for instance, like, Blair was sitting with me. He was like, sometimes when I work with people, I'll actually get like some of their anointing. Like, so if you are a good business person, whatever, you are giving that to whoever you're with. So you have to be very careful. For me, I found out I was giving a lot of what I had to somebody. Like, they would get success and things in their life, and they would, like, because I command the room when I walk in. You said that. You're like, oh my gosh, when you walk in, everyone's like, that's a gift from
It's
God.
wild, dude. Wild to see that.
and and it's like when I was with the guy who was not all that, I would give him that. Like, he would feel that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that's why you have to be very careful, that you're with somebody that's going to add to your life and not just take
Mm-hmm.
your gifts. And
Which, if you're working on yourself as a human being, you will end up in a place where that isn't a concern. You're like, oh, you're growing this way, I'm growing this way, and then we're just gonna decide to grow together. And then one person, like, you can benefit from the other person for sure, but you're not gonna try and use that other person for their skill set that they have.
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, I think it is that thing where like you said, it's how you make them look. That's why I've always attracted like very high level, like, but it's that narcissist
Yeah, yeah.
of like, this, she makes me look good, and because like you guys, I've spoken about, my dad's a narcissist, and um I hate saying that. I'm like, I hope he never listens to these podcasts, really. But where it's like, I am so good at nurturing that kind of man, like, and I just naturally do it. I see the good in people, and I see, like, you even said that when we were talking, and I was like, Jake, like, oh my gosh, you have this, you're like, nobody really tells me that. And I'm like, I see the good in people, and I am such an encourager to the people around me, and that's just how God made me. What did you do to that mic? Dude,
I
I
was
can't.
trying
So
to
distracted.
move.
Why did you do that? Wait, we talked about this. Stop
I know.
doing that every time.
It's because I wanted to move it up, and then now it
Jake,
just
just
falls
fix
off.
it.
Okay.
It's okay. Well, just let me talk. Like, don't mind Jake. Jake. Okay, one thing I've learned about Jake in this during this time of podcast is he don't listen. This is y'all man's problem. See,
This is why I'm single, dog.
this is, and it was funny. One time we went and we had lunch, and I was like, "Oh, do that," or I said, was like, "Oh, grab the fork. Oh, it's over there," and he was like, when you tell me that, I'm trying to help him, obviously, And he's like, I take it as like, you don't think I can do it myself, or I'm capable of it. It's Pinky in the Brain, me and him. I swear it's Pinky in the Brain. I love it. So, anyways, the first time he can't defend himself because he don't have a mic. The first time he messed up this mic, he did the same thing where he moved it around because he gets uncomfortable with it. Just get comfortable. You need to tap your fingers again. He needs to do his tapping exercise. Look, now the mic's on him because you're making so much noise. It won't get me. Yeah, you're just in it. Just.
All right. We're back.
That's the only part you touched. You don't have
See,
to touch
I know this
the
needs,
bottom of this.
This needs to come up.
No,
And
it's fine.
golly.
It goes like this and this. Why you gotta move it from the?
Because.
This is why we're both single. This right here is a great example. Like, that has nothing to do with the up and down. And anyways.
Wait. And then you're here yelling at me.
And he's trying to be a producer. He's messing up the mics over here. Sorry, guys. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Funny.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to get back to your love life. So you went to college.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And then you focused on your career. You didn't date. Were you still active? Like, were you hooky in your hookup phase? Were you in your God phase? Nothing.
No, I was like getting into my God phase during that time, and then I had like
not a phase. We don't want to say.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just a phase of God.
I might start laughing a lot. I don't know. We'll see. But I started really.
We're getting into our high school mode. Talk about high school.
Yeah,
mode,
right.
Like high schoolers.
Really started to pursue Jesus, and then I was like, I wasn't. It was like a mix of three things. I wasn't confident. I was also afraid of being known, and then I also was pursuing film, and I wanted to do film. Like, that's what I wanted to do with my life. So that was the most important thing after like my relationship with Jesus, and I was going to, and it's crazy.
What made you find Jesus? Like, you were just like, oh, I'm just gonna pursue this, or like,
oh,
do you grew up like in a Christian household?
yeah, grew up in a Christian household, but then
you don't really understand it. I feel like you have to go through life to start reaching.
Yeah,
for God.
100%.
There's very few that you, unless you're like your dad's a pastor, that where it's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, I just get it, and like I built that relationship with him. But anyway,
yeah, that was not me. I wouldn't go through like a rebellious phase at all, but when I started to volunteer, I went to this church in LA called Mosaic.
Oh my gosh, I've been there. Stop
Yeah,
it. That's so funny.
It's so good. And one of the pastors there was giving a series about serving, and there was something in me like when he started, because I had been going to church for like 6-7 months at the time, and he started to talk about serving, and then every time with each service that would follow, I'd be like, I should be serving. And eventually I just go say one day, get there early, hey, I want to serve. What's it look like? And I moved to LA, like I said, to do film, and I wanted to be behind the camera.
I love LA. I really like
LA's the best.
So I'm like, how are you in Nashville? It's
Yeah.
weird. LA it has, you meet so many people. Everyone's kind of like hippies. It is dirty. It's dirty. But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, when I was in LA, he started to talk about serving. I wanted to go serve on the production team, which would be on camera, just like get my like connections with people, or just be around it. And then they said they needed help with people in the parking lot, and I said okay, because that's where you need help. And so I go to help out in the parking lot, and that completely changed my life.
Hey, let's go.
Completely changed my life. I was serving, just like doing whatever was needed. And there was one time we had a kind of kiddie corner to where a church was. There was the parking garage that we used, and there was one time, I don't know what happened or why this was, but a car turned the corner,
Oh, you told me this. You did.
Yeah, and did the little hop, and then that's when they responded with a smile, and I was like, oh, that felt so good. And
Make
then
people happy. Maybe.
yeah, and then after that, I just got really, really, really into it, and I was like, yo, I just wanna serve people with my life, and then that's what eventually led me to working with high schoolers because film was cool, but I really wanted to serve people. Uh, and then I eventually ended up going to ministry school in Northern California. And then,
Learning so much today.
yes, I
Oh my
know.
gosh.
I don't share a whole bunch about myself. It's a little
Wow, this
bit of,
is all Jake this time. Last time was my podcast. This one's you.
yeah. Not, I find if people want to know, they'll ask. And then it's something where I'm like, okay, I will share if I feel like people actually want to know.
Yeah.
But if they don't, then I'm like, I hold back. But when I was at the ministry school,
How long did you do that?
it was just a year.
Uh-huh.
And then um, I met somebody there, which is the last person I was in a relationship with. We
Listen, hopefully she don't listen to this, but you just say it.
no, she's great. Oh, she's phenomenal as a
I
person.
know, but didn't you say you weren't attracted to her?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and she knows that.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I told her that like
Oh
from
my
the onset.
gosh, you're so
So
honest.
there was somebody, like the way the ministry school worked was there's the first year had 1,300 students, and then those 1,300 students were grouped into groups of 70,
Mm-hmm.
and we were in the same group. And she lived really close to me, and I have a car when I was there, so I ended up bumming some rides with her, and we ended up just like in a lot of the same friend groups,
Mm-hmm.
and we just like we connected, like we laugh, we talk.
Mm-hmm.
She gave me a ride home one day, and like I got out of the car at 1:30, and we were just joking around. And so we just connected really, 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 really well. And then she came to me before Christmas break and said, "Can we get coffee?" I said, "Sure," because we were hanger outers. And she's like, "I think I like you." And I said, "I don't know how I feel about you."
Oh,
And
women never be the first one to say it. I just want to put that out there.
well, I'm thankful that she did. I want to be where I'm at right now had she not, because I eventually at first I was like, nah, I like I don't see it like that. And then eventually I we started to date, and but the reason why I didn't see her like that was like I wasn't attracted to her.
Really, that's interesting. Women are different than men, I guess, because even the men that I feel like weren't like I ended up growing on them, you know, they grew on me, like, you know,
Yeah.
like, oh, it's kind of ugly, but it's kind of cute. You start looking at it like that. Is it ugly? Is it cute? Is it ugly or is it cute? I don't know, but it's like it's mine. I think
God, yeah.
I'm so possessive. I'm a little possessive.
Guys don't have that. Guys, this is somebody.
Really, it's
Yeah.
like they're attracted to or not.
Yeah, this is, and I tried for 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Damn, that's loyalty.
Yeah, I tried because our connection was so good. Our first date was
Do you guys kiss
18
at all?
hours long, and all we did was talk.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We'd kiss. At first we weren't doing that
Yeah.
because she
Yeah. No,
had a
of course.
conviction. No, she had a conviction she's not going to kiss until she got married.
Oh wow.
So then I was like, okay, well, I want to, like, we get along so well, and I am so desperate to be seen
Mm-hmm.
by a woman and truly known that I'm like, yeah, I'll marry you.
Mm-hmm. Oh shoot, you were going to marry.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah. Yeah. Um, and so we ended up dating, and then I moved to Minnesota because she moved back to Minnesota, and then I followed, and then this is all like she's going through her self love journey with people very similar to Blair, like from the same
Okay.
stream, and I'm also doing that a little bit, and she gets to the place where she's just like, we're too codependent. And it's like we need to separate. Well, she didn't say we need to. I like she needed a break to like sort things out, and then
You were clingy still from high school.
yeah, 100%. And I thought I wasn't, and I get into that situation, and I'm like, now I'm scared because I've been on this journey for what, like 7
Isn't it
years.
crazy? And then you can make that person an idol. Isn't it crazy?
There was a chick. There was a chick at Belonging where we go to church. Yo, wild. She like completely took over.
What does
Like,
that mean? Took over your brain?
yeah, it's wild. I thought I had done so much, and then
And then what happened?
mm, uh, we I don't know how to explain this well to be able to.
But not the belonging juice
Yeah.
over here. Oh, tea time.
I wanted to just like hang out or like
Mm.
take her out on a date,
Mm.
and then there was just like some like other people in the picture, and just needing to like wait. There's so much complexity to it that's not worth going into, but
But would that happen recent where you felt like
yeah,
it
this
was
is
another
like
takeover?
yeah, this is like around conference time last year,
Okay.
where I was like,
Yeah.
yo, why am I so caught up? I
Yeah.
can't like the guys that I work out with. I'm like, look, I'm texting this person.
Yeah.
And I just got so caught up, and it was wild.
So
Um,
caught up.
yup.
See?
And I had to. So we were texting and then stopped texting, and then semi started again. And once we started again, I had to tell her, I was like, I like really need to protect myself because it's so easy to fall for you. And so I told her that, and then we didn't continue talking, but then I like reached back out, and I was like, oh, so I couldn't stop myself.
And then what did she do?
We hung out, but we're just like not great human being.
Was it mutual?
I don't know if I think. Yeah, I'll just say it wasn't mutual. But
Gotta be honest here.
yeah, I think we're just in like different chapters of life.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
I love the Jesus chapter. It protects me all the time. I always am like, they're like, are you in a relationship? I'm like, I'm in a relationship with Jesus. We cool. Yeah, that's crazy. It is. That's for me too. When I was 3 years, I was single, and then this guy, um, who's like, he's in a different country and everything, and this is the one I was talking about earlier, where it's like I started like, why do I like this person who's like
Yeah.
not aligned with my values? I'm like, I want to help people, and he's like, that's stupid. People are screwed up, and like he wants to be powerful and like be this. I don't know who they want to make themselves God. That's what you don't have God in your life. And he was Muslim too, so it's like, and then my last relationship for 4 years was with a Muslim guy. So it's like, you do not become unequally yoked. I'm telling you, it does not work. So, but yeah, it was that same thing where like all of a sudden it was like they were on the front of my head. Like
Yeah.
I would wake up and I'm like, I hate this feeling. I hate this feeling of like, I want this. I hated that feeling once again of being like attached to somebody, and like that constant, it's almost like torment. It's not even peaceful. It's not like peaceful. It's not, you know what I mean? Now I don't have that. Like I don't even like, I used to go on his live sometime. Now I don't even check it. Like, girls healing. But it was like to that point, that obsessive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that's what he's taught me in therapy. It's like, he's like, for you, love has always been like this intimate, like high intensity.
Yeah.
And like love is supposed to feel safe and like calming and like, actually it was so funny. Recently something happened, and they and I was thinking, like, why is this person not obsessed with me, like, 24/7? And I was just like, because that's what I'm used to, you know? And I was just like, maybe because it's normal, Alicia. I, like, literally had to reframe myself. Like, you don't, not everybody has to become obsessed with you.
Yeah. That'll be fun to dig into.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Imagine, but that's so weird to me, because I do feel like, though, if you are in love with that person, you should kind of feel that obsession a little bit, to the point of like, I want to get to know this person, their heart, their soul, like, like I think that there should be kind of a piece of that.
Yeah, there's a
No.
healthy degree of infatuation.
Yeah, infatuation. That's the word.
Yeah.
Obsession.
And that for sure is important, and it needs to be there 100%.
Yeah, it can't just be like. But that's what my therapist told me. He said if you get in a relationship, the next one's gonna feel boring to you because it's not. And I'm like, why does it have to feel boring? Can we just no?
But
Because I don't think it can be boring because my life isn't. I feel like my life, when you have God, it's never boring. Like it's always exciting. There's always like, just like we can sit here and have these deep talks and go deep and like, you know what I mean? I feel like there should be no boring.
well, it's going to be
Like my arms already crossed. We both crossed our
it's
arms. Single people crossing our arms, disgruntled.
it's going to be boring just in comparison to like you're you're probably used to very high dopamine relationships.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And
But no, actually, I was telling you that that guy was like, "I'm gonna marry you," blah blah blah, and I was like, "This is just BS." Like I was just like, "This is," and I don't even care. And like, so old me would have been like, then when I didn't love myself, oh yes, that would be so great. But you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah. So
yeah, which is wonderful.
I have gotten
Yeah.
to that place where I'm like, yeah, I mean, this is a good guy. This is, but it's just nope, it's not me. Like I know right away, God is telling me, and God will protect you. And that's the thing. I don't need to be scared with my heart anymore. That's what I've
Mm.
had to learn. Is like, don't be scared to love because don't be scared because God's protecting my heart, and the next person that gets my heart is gonna be the right person.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
when your heart's healed, it can do that. But when it's broken, that's what he told me. That high intensity comes from like one person broken here, one person broken here, and they get together. And he goes, at first it's crazy, but then y'all are gonna really annoy each other because you're gonna see so much brokenness of them, or like,
Yeah.
and y'all are gonna agitate each other. And I'm like, that's true because my ex that I was with in Miami, the Arab guy, I was like so annoyed by him. I'm like, you love like this fake, like trying to impress people, trying to like, even though I was still in that phase of not loving myself, but it's like, I don't know. I was like, you're in your 30s and you guys still are stuck in like the materialistic things of this world is stupid. You know?
Yeah.
Like yes, it's nice that God provides, you want nice, but like it's crazy how many guys put their worth in that. It's
Yup.
like everyone feels so shallow nowadays.
Yup.
Shallow.
Yup. 100%. And guys,
And they look at me and they probably think the same thing. And the fact that this guy goes, I think you're more than just your social. I'm like, what's my social media? Like what? I dress nice dresses. You know, I post about, you know, God, like coming out of, you know, my testimony. I'm like, what is my social media? It just makes me look like a high maintenance girl, I guess. But I'm really like this down to earth, like probably more of a tomboy than a high maintenance girl. Like my one friend, you know, she has to have her hair nice. She has to have makeup on. Like I can go on TikTok looking crazy, you know, like I'm very much like I can go to the house no makeup and know I look good. Like I'm naturally pretty. Thank you,
I
God.
woke up like this,
Thank you,
right?
God. I mean, I don't always have my all days I feel pretty, you know? But so being single, yeah, it's just so you feel like so here you are feeling those same feelings of infatuation. You've been single for so long. You've gone through the therapy. You're screwed. Just kidding.
According to my calculations, you got no hope.
But your hair looks good.
Yeah, yeah, I got
And
that.
you have a nice
I
smile.
I go I go
You even
to
have dimples. I'm telling you, I don't think you know your worth because it's not just on the outside, but you have so much to offer, and it's like
so I d-
maybe you could play too much football with people. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're not around girls. Are you around girls?
yes. Serving, like if you serve, you're like 70% of people that serve are
So,
women.
I took a break from serving for my self healing,
Good. I
and
did
I did,
too.
and I felt bad at first, and I'm like no, like, and then somebody there kind of triggered me, and I was like, okay, I'm still not healed enough to be around a guy.
Yeah.
He kept coming up to my ear talking. Like he was getting like here every time. And then he was like, oh yeah, so what do you do? And I told him what I do. And he's like, oh yeah, I searched your name. And I was like, why are you asking me what I do when you see what I do? It was just gave me like
Mm.
creep vibes.
Yeah. Um
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I was just like, I'm not healed enough to like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Be able to
I almost
be in that
karate chopped
conversation.
him serving. Imagine seeing somebody karate chop somebody at the front in their throat. That's what I want to do. Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna right hook him? Uppercut?
Well, I thought it'd be faster. People wouldn't see it as much.
Oh,
You know,
okay. I
like
see.
if I
Okay.
uppercut and then like there's a
I thought you'd like
just to give it
and
like
then stand over
oh
him.
just be, and be like, "Are you choking, sir?" You know, like, play it
Oh,
off.
yeah,
I had it
that's
already.
smart. Okay.
While he was talking to me, I had all that played out in my head. I wish people knew what went on in my head. It's hilarious. Do you ever think that? Like sometimes I crack myself up. I'm like, I say a lot of things that people think. I give the voice to people's intrusive thoughts.
Yes, yes.
I'm working on it,
No, it's not bad to have it.
but it is sometimes. Nah. Sometimes I'm a little unhinged for the Christian community. I think we need more of that though.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to go back to you. So what are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna find some other woman to get infatuated with. That's um no, I
Do you feel like you're still in your loving yourself phase? Because for me, I honestly am completely, you know, you said singleness sucks. I'm like, I'm falling in love with it. Like, truly, like, no BS. Like, almost too comfortable, probably, but like, I'm learning to love myself. And like, I don't need somebody, you know, to make me like feel that. I want the help. I would be nice. Like, I'm so hyper independent. I can't wait to have like help, you know, financially and like, I do miss giving love. I think that's the most I miss out of a relationship. I'm such a giver. I may look like a taker, but I'm the complete opposite. Any guy that was with me, I was like, listen, you're going to leave heartbroken because, well, I leave. I've never been broken up with, but I will make sure that I am so good to them that they will never forget me. I guarantee you none of their girls massage and scratch your backs as long as I did. I was literally a slave, and I don't think it's a good flex to be that way. But like I definitely like you said, I was an encourager. Even when I was this with this guy. He was with me when I was 4 years an alcoholic. I'm like, how? Like, how are you with somebody who's a straight full on alcoholic? But I think he knew the second I got sober, I wouldn't be with him. Like, I low key, like, when I told him, I'm like, I'm an alcoholic. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, I'm dry heaving every morning. Like, I drink every night. What do you mean? What does that define an alcoholic? Like, I would wake up and I'd have the shakes and I'd feel dizzy and I'd have the sweats. Like, my body, like, and I was in true addiction, but I think it made him feel better to be around an addict. You know what I mean? And like, oh, well, I'm not. And it's a form of control. Like, we'd fight. He'd bring over wine. You know, it took him a lot of wines to get his first kiss. He brought over a lot of wines. And then when he did kiss me the first time, I was like, he came over the next day. He thought he could kiss me. I said, look, just because I got tipsy on wine and I kissed you one time does not make this. And we just kissed. That's it. But yeah, he just kept being persistent. Persistent. Persistency does work. Sometimes. I think it depends the healing. But I was so lonely and isolated as an addict. Like, I was like, okay, he's just a little funny little foreigner, Habibi.
Habibi. I love that word.
Everyone jokes with me now. I have a Habibi like fetish, but yeah. I just love how transparent this is.
I know, it's so good.
The people who see my lives, they already know.
Yeah, they're like, I already know who this person is.
But it's funny. Looking back on life is funny, man. Like who we dated but yeah, I just thought, how could he be with like I can't be around a drunk. I can be a person who's tippy, but somebody who's drunk, I'm like, I can't because I know it's all BS. It's all just like the I love you and talk. I'm like, how many years of my life I just wasted talking. Like, but it's cool because people got to see a true transformation.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I couldn't even take care of myself. I looked a mess. And I would take pictures like I was cute. Like, my lips were they overfilled my lips. I looked like I got stung by a bee. Like, I was always puffy, you know, from drinking and drugs. Like, my body was like, guys, it's by the grace of God that I'm alive and look the way I did. You know, from eating disorders, from drinking, drugs, like, it is by God that I look the way I do. That Jesus glow is a real thing. I'm telling you, I can walk around places and I feel it. I feel it in my presence. Now that I'm starting to love myself, I feel it in my presence.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I used to walk around, like when I didn't love myself, I felt this heaviness. Like all this shit, like shame and all this I was carrying.
Yeah.
And it's like truly the best relationship. But it's interesting to me that that you haven't found that sweet spot, I guess, of like, I mean, I'm definitely like, come on, it would be nice if he came around, but like, I don't get lonely. Like, I love I'm gonna snuggle up with my dogs and watch a TV show. I'm gonna like, but then again, I'm on live for 6 hours, so I put a lot of energy into other people to where maybe that's a distraction from really feeling that loneliness.
Mm. Mm.
Maybe.
What it and we'll wait and see.
I guess. I guess. I guess.
Uh,
So you feel, so tell me,
yes.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. Tell me. You're just so safe and comfortable. I just, blah, blah.
I know. I know.
Okay, so tell me.
Tell you what.
So you think singleness sucks. So you wake up in the morning, you're like, I want a bad bee next to me.
No,
Like, what's it?
I like. I just want to.
Wait, you're gonna cry and now
No,
you're
no, no,
laughing.
no, no, no. I
You're
wasn't
gonna
gonna cry.
cry?
No, no, no. I wasn't
I was
crying.
like, he's trying to laugh.
No, no, no. I'm thinking of like why.
You're thinking too hard about it.
No, it's strange because I can notice all the things that are great about being single, but when you go to bed every night for 7 years by yourself, it just is.
Oh, I haven't hit 7 years. Maybe that's the thing.
Yeah, it just, and I'm just, if I wanted to, I could just find somebody.
Right. Like settle. Like,
Yeah,
I think 90% of people do that.
yeah,
And they don't find their soul. They're not with the person they're intended to be. Because as a beautiful woman who goes out a lot, I see so many married men. And I'm talking covered up. I don't even want to hear it. Oh, it's because you're dressed the way you are. No, even if a girl is dressed in a bikini and walks by my husband, he is going to only have eyes for me.
yeah,
And that's why I think we've lost it. It's most people would just date because they're lonely or they're comfortable.
yeah,
And then they're in this relationship where they're like, this is not all what I wanted, but you didn't have the balls to stick it out. Like my ex, he asked me to marry him. This is the one I was talking about for 4 years. Asked me to marry him, and now he's about to get married after he cheated on his first wife for 9 years. Habibi love. I don't know what their religion believes, but they love women. So anyways, and it's like, dude, you're not with somebody and you have the rest of your life with this person. To me,
Yeah.
I'd rather wait and maybe not be whatever in my hottest. I don't know. I feel like if you take care of yourself, you take care of yourself.
yeah.
I'm always in my prime, baby. The wrinkles starting to show a little freaking me out, but we good. But I honestly do feel like I have the rest of my life with this person. I want to
Yeah.
make sure it's the right person. They're the closest thing to God that you are going to be with. Like you said, you're going to be the most vulnerable, the most
Yeah.
exposed. They're going to be the person that's either going to bring you closer to God or make you harden your heart to God, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, wouldn't you rather you have your whole life to look at that person?
Yeah, I know. That's why I am, like, to a degree why I am single, is I just like haven't found that person. Like I hate to compare. I really hate it. And I don't know if I do it or or what. But the fact that like my last girlfriend, I could talk just all day with them, like it feels like it set a standard. Like that's what I know that I want. And something, I went on a date with somebody like 3 or 4 months ago, and they're a smiler, and I realized I need that. Like somebody,
They were a smiler?
yeah, they're a smiler. They're like, when they're talking, they're smiling. Like
It's not me.
like I like realize how attractive that is to me. It's just something, just it gets me. Cause then I went on, cause then like, so then I went on a different date with somebody. I go on dates.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's not like I don't.
Okay, that's good.
Even like the chica that I went on a date with, that I had my little infatuation phase, she is stunning. She is beautiful, like insane. Sidebar, like this is the degree that I am getting comfortable like with myself. I was at a wedding for running a photo booth, and one of the women, the person getting married, was a former like Raiders cheerleader,
Mm-hmm.
and I jokingly said, "Hey, if you got any single friends, let me know." Then I'm like, "I'll take a cheerleader. Why not? I think I'm good. I think I deserve that." But the chick I got infatuated, she's just stunning. The other one wasn't as attractive, but I just loved being around her more.
Do you feel like you can't? So I feel like this is my problem. Is like having deep conversations. Um, I don't even know because to be honest, I don't talk to no guys. So this is the most deep conversation I have with the guy is this guy and my therapist. This guy Jake and my therapist. But I do. I have my actually my guy friend. He's really nice. But yeah, it's the fact. Do you want to keep talking to them? Do they not go deep with you, or are they just like you feel like bored already, or like you talk
Oh
run out of things to say?
no, you know what it now what it is do I need someone that is incredibly emotionally intelligent. Like that's something,
Mm.
and they don't so much of this is my belief, and I want someone that shares this belief, but everybody is entitled to their own belief.
Yeah.
Like so much of what we think is something that is um I want somebody who like looks at, oh, this thing that's happening in my life as looking at it, it's a bad thing. We'll say the bad thing that's happening. Instead of it being something that's like I'm being attacked, they're being like
That's
there's
coming from a place like Blair can do like that. Like when I was going off, I was going
yeah.
off saying, "F." There was a couple that was kissing. I'm like, they're fake. These people, they suck. I was like going off on this random couple that was like all over each other, and I'm just like, I don't know what I was saying. Honestly, that's like I blacked out. And he's like, "Okay, we got to get you inside a room." I'm like, "I can't be outside. I'm gonna like, anyways." And that's the Holy Spirit can bring things up in people, but in that time he didn't see this angry crazy person. He literally was like, you are viewing those people how you're viewing yourself
Mm.
because you don't have compassion for love. And then we went deeper and deeper
Yeah.
into that, and it's like where he can see past, but that I think that's being aligned with God, and spiritually you can see past somebody just what's around them, like where they go deep. And that's how I feel too, because so for so much of my life was surface level, and I was taught by my dad at an early age was like, suck it up. Emotions don't matter. So you want somebody who's going to be like emotional with you,
Yes, but
like
and
here, here's your
yeah,
here's your pass
but yeah. Give me, I need some milk,
That's exactly
mommy.
what I need.
um, no, I like I don't some like when you have a relationship with God, it's so easy to use God to ignore the hurt and the pain inside of you.
Yes.
And that's something that like I know I'm going to end up marrying somebody who has a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
But
Not that religion.
there's so many incredible women that have a relationship with Jesus that emotional intelligence, they'll just like they won't be able to sit
It
with
trumps
you.
that. It trumps
Yeah,
like okay, what the Bible says trumps that
exactly.
trauma, or he he set you free. You're free from that. You like
Yeah.
you don't need to. And it's like when we go deeper is actually when we can go. Like I that happened to me with one of my friends, and it was kind of sucked. I just had nobody at
Yeah.
this point. I was super isolated, nobody to talk to, 24/7. This girl has a husband, whatever, and I'm like going to her. I'm like, man, I'm just like I want to leave. I want to go back to Miami. Like a lot of people saw this phase in social media where I was like, I don't know my purpose. I don't know why I'm here. Like I, of course, I didn't have no connections, you know. And she's like, let's get together and do a Bible study. I'm like, I needed a friend just to listen to me, you know. We need to pray together, and it was like, all those things are great, but like I just needed a friend
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang,
Yeah.
like I felt so dismissed, and like something was wrong with me, and it was just that because of God, you know, that
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's like God gives us people too, you know, to utilize as well.
Yeah.
I see what you're meaning, and I used to be that type of person. I broke from a lot of religion.
Mm.
Actually, so you guys know I was celibate for 3 years, and I was with this guy for 4 years, this Habibi. I went back to Miami after my boxing fight, God's girl, everything. And I went back to Miami. In my life, I would have never thought that I would have been with him. I did. But in that, I called my best friend and I told her, oh my God, I actually did the unthinkable. Like I hooked up with this dude, and she was like, good, because it broke you of more religion. Because I had this like this pride or this like just suck it up, just don't have sex, just don't do it. But instead of getting to the core, is like why why am I winning? Because we're humans, we're not robots.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And sometimes in the faith, and I found out in the Christian faith, they make it very robotic. Like, oh, you have that, or that's a demon. That's a demon. You know what I mean? And I still do that to this day. I said, Blair, I think it's that demon. He's like, it might be that too. Like, I have a demon. He's like, maybe, but he's like, I think it's coming from wounds. Like a lot of things, it's like we want to blame it, and it's still pointing fingers at other things other than looking within.
And that's where
and Jesus sees our hearts. Boom.
And that's why it's so important to, like, here's why it's so important to not look outward when it needs to be actually seen within. You can get rid of that thing outward, but you don't actually get your needs met inward. And so you need to actually, like, hey, is this pain? Is it like an actual spiritual thing, or is this like I'm just in so much pain?
Yeah.
And so that's why I just have like a difficulty finding a woman
that's Christian specifically.
Yeah, and I'll find women who aren't Christians that have some of those traits. But if you don't, if you don't have relation, and this is my belief, everybody, if you don't believe like this, you can have whatever belief you want. But my belief is like, if you don't have a relationship with Jesus, you won't allow yourself to be unconditionally loved. It's the only way that you can know unconditional love.
And sometimes you have to force it. Like for me, I kind of forced it. In the beginning, it was very like going to church, praying, but I did not know how to. And I didn't ever feel like I was doing it right. I remember we'd have girls' prayer nights, and I would just get like I would feel like I wanted to scream. And it's like, because I was trying out of my own strength to talk to God. I was trying to have this relationship instead of just like, he wants me here, I'm here. Just talk to him like a friend.
Yeah.
Just like he already knows your heart. Stop trying to impress God. First off, you can't impress him, especially after everything you've done. But on all jokes aside, like my relationship was so hard because I made that relationship like I did with my father. It was like trying to earn it. And it was like, that's recently when I reached out to you. It was like, I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm sitting here praying. I'm going to church. I have church friends. Like, what is wrong? Like, I felt like something was wrong with me. I was like, I know I'm not going to go back to OnlyFans. I'm not going to go back to weed and drinking, all these things. But like, I felt so uncomfortable in my own skin. It's because I kept putting on this, like, this striving and this front. And like, if you're authentically you don't have to strive with him. And it's like this natural thing, and I'm still building it. Like it's still, some days are better than others. Some days I can feel I'm trying. Some days I'm like, okay, like what is God? Like I have to pray. I'm like, maybe he just wants you to rest in him. Maybe he just wants you to cry to him. Maybe he doesn't want you to say anything. He knows exactly what's on your heart. And I'm learning that just like with a relationship, you don't have to do the same thing with that person every day. It's going to get boring. Like God is not a boring God. So every day might be different, like I can listen to music that's not Christian and it sounds Christian to me now because my brain has completely switched. Like there's certain music, obviously not twerk it. And like twerk it means Jesus loves you. But like, there's certain music where it's like, I have healed from so much broken. The old music I used to listen to, I used to obsess with Halsey. Oh my gosh, Halsey all day. I listen to it now and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't relate to it because she's so sad and so broken. Or like, there's another thing. My goddaughter was like obsessed with, what's her name? SZA. I listened to her music and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just so sexual to where it's almost like cringe for me. Like, it's almost like, there's like certain music now where it's like God refines it slowly over time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and then like, I still dance. I have fun on TikTok, but am I being twerked, like being like, there's
hypersexual.
There's certain ways to do things where it's sometimes I'll get that guilt and I'm like, it's because you still see yourself through this broken lens of like, you are that OnlyFans girl. And I think that's a hard thing to break. Like, I actually freaked out my friend on live the other day. I think he was like, Alicia, I was just wearing like my nightgown, but it's like wearing a dress. Everything was covered here. There's no cleavage. Like, but I don't care about if it looks like a nightgown or it looks like a dress going out. You know, I really don't care. I'm comfortable. And he was like, Alicia, can you just put on some clothes? And like, and it pissed me off. I put on a hoodie and I was like, I felt so condemned. And I was like, dude, I'm not, everything is not about like, I already feel like for so long in my life, I was a piece of meat that like, it irritates my soul when somebody sees me like in that light. And so it's like, I guess with what I'm saying is like, it's a journey from like how you used to live, how you used to see yourself. And it takes time to build yourself to who God called you to be. And until you that person, God, if you are truly, because if you settled right now, you'd live with that regret. And that's something I can't do. I'm such a type of person. I'm scared of heights. I jumped out of a plane, like highly scared of heights. I jumped out of a plane because I don't want to live with that regret if I never tried it.
Yeah.
And so like for me, I will sit. I don't even care. People say you pass your prime. Like I used to want kids, and now I'm at a point where I'm like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, like there's tons of young women that I can help in their life that are grown adults that are spiritually babies that one day, like, you know what's going to be funny one day looking at this podcast? Be like, remember talking about that and like actually being, you know, with a group of girls who are maybe out of OnlyFans or out of addiction that I'm able to like, you have to, in order to be used by, you really have to heal yourself. Yes, you can be used as a broken vessel. He still uses me in my brokenness. Hallelujah. But like to truly sit with people and see people for who they are and not judge them. It takes a lot of breaking your pride, breaking yourself, and you have to put your, a lot of it has to do with pride.
Yeah.
Right? So where do you feel like you're on that journey? Do you feel like you're broken enough?
No, I need to do more. That was a joke. Didn't come off as a joke. It sounded very like, no, I need to break more to get to this place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. That's the only reason I didn't
I've been going
jump
on.
into.
My
I know.
ADHD is kicking.
I know. But where I'm at, no. See, that's even like, this is let's go. I don't look at my. I can't go into that. We don't have time. I'll have to save that. And if it comes up at some other point, it comes up at some other point, because this is going to open up a can of worms. It just is a lot longer to explain. But this talking about this single stuff, and I feel like we've gone
everywhere.
Yes, but the human being that you are is involved in the process of being single, and so talking about the process that you go through as a human being on any pathway is involved in the single journey that you're on. That if people want to hear more about more single stuff, we can always do it again.
We just went off on a total decide different.
We got semi there. We didn't know. I genuinely like who you are. You carry with you everywhere, and then into the relationship that you have. So it's really important connecting with who you are, knowing who you are, and that whole part of your
first.
Yes.
I feel like we did a good job of talking about that.
Yeah, exactly. So that plays into the single thing. So I felt like, while it's not directly like, here is how you get a date, or here's how you talk with girls, we still talked about the single journey, because you are, as a human being, part of any journey that you go on. And we just didn't, and we talked about the journey of the human being.
We're going to do singleness part 2.
Yeah.
Without Alicia interrupting. Maybe it's because my inner child came out and she's got a lot to say.
Yeah.
She won't shut up.
Yeah. Well, we need to run because time is of the essence.
Yes. All right, guys.
Well, this was lovely. This is fun.
We got a little into your love life. He does have a little.
I don't have a.
You have more of a love life than I do.
Okay, I go on.
I'm like, no, a guy's gonna just find me. I don't even go on dates. That's
yeah. See, I thought like that, and then I realized that It don't work like that for guys. You need to be the one to ask. Other than my one ex, so like 50% of my relationships I've been in have become because some woman pursued me. But
Dang.
yeah, but all the rest I've asked out. There's so many chicks I've asked out at church that have said no.
Really?
Yeah, and everywhere else as well. I get a lot of no's.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah. See,
Like right when I saw you, it was like he's a cool dude. Like,
I know. Imagine what it's like for not a dude like this guy. How tough it is for
and
him.
you have style, and he got style,
That's what I'm
and
saying.
he's the only guy that can pull off jeans so tight.
Can they? No.
They can't see it.
They can. Yeah.
Listen, he's the only guy that can pull off jeans that tight and still be masculine.
Somebody yesterday, I was watching one of my friend's soccer games, and he made a comment about my jeans being so tight, and I was like, I wear tight jeans because I go to the gym and I want to show off my butt. Okay,
Yeah.
that's why. I was joking with him, and I made a little pose for him.
See, guys do it too.
Yeah,
Guys be talking about us girls, but guys do it too.
yeah, we totally do. We're all humans. So
All right. Well,
wrap us up. Put a bow
thank
on top.
you all for listening, and just know that it is a journey. It is a process.
Yes.
Give yourself grace. That's the best thing that I've done on my singleness is giving myself grace and just being okay even when I mess up. Like understanding that God loves you so much and the right person is there. Just keep that hope because God's plans are so big and we can't explain it. That's the whole point of faith is having faith and not knowing. But don't let Satan lie to you and tell you you're not worthy, that you're never going to get married. Like keep the faith. And that's all I can say because I have so much hope for my future, and I've been single, and
Let's go.
and one day I'm excited for whoever he is out there. Like I'm working on it. We're working on it with God, okay? And so is Jake. Single ladies, what if it was from this podcast? Oh my gosh, and Jake.
I wouldn't want to find them like that. I don't.
Being vulnerable in yourself.
No, not like that. 'Cause yeah.
He doesn't know yet. We can't. God has in control. Maybe she will be.
I'm not.
Put limit on God.
Yeah, it wouldn't be my ideal, but it could very well help. I'm open to whatever. So.
You can't be picky after 7 years. I'm just kidding.
No.
All right, love you guys.
All right, deuces.
Bye. Subscribe, like, comment. Love you all. Sorry, we went way over on that.